getting lean is actually quite simple. It's doing the same things in the right way over and over again, but simple does not mean easy. This video will show you the exact 5-step process I use to get lean. So let's get into it. The first step, obviously, is to eat at a moderate calorie deficit. That's when you eat 200 to maybe 400 calories below your caloric maintenance, and you should know what your caloric maintenance is, the calories at which you maintain your current body weight. If you don't know that, you need to go on Google, type in maintenance calorie calculator, and find that number out. It's outrageous that you're still watching this and you don't know your calorie maintenance. For most guys, it'll be somewhere between 2,400 and 3,000. Let's say it's 2,600. Take away 300 to 400, which will be, let's say, 2,200, and that's the calories you eat at to lose weight. If you do this, you will not only lose weight, you will lose weight at a rate that is sustainable long term. You won't have these huge cravings, you won't binge eat on the weekends. You're much less likely to bounce back when you go slower with a moderate deficit. So don't make the mistake that most people do. They learn about a calorie deficit, they learn about eating less, and they're like, well, the less I eat, the more fat I lose, so let me just eat less. And they go in a huge deficit, they lose muscle, they lose their will to live, and bam, in 2 weeks they binge eat. Don't be that guy. So step 1 is eat at a moderate calorie deficit. Step 2 is to hit the gym 3 times a week. There's nothing that is more effective than a calorie deficit coupled with weight training. By now you might be thinking, oh, but surely I can go on a run instead. I'm preparing for a marathon. I have this new dancing class that opened up. There's all these other things that you think will help you lose fat. They might, but in almost all the cases that I've heard, they actually shoot you in the foot. Even things like running and marathon, they help in the short term, but you're not really going to do that for the rest of your life. It's not something that's going to actually build muscle or preserve muscle as you lose fat, which is, by the way, what you want to do. A calorie deficit only assures that you'll lose weight. It doesn't assure that you will lose fat. It will just lose everything. Training in the gym is going to prevent yourself from losing muscle, which is absolutely critical to looking good and staying healthy. Let's get on to step 3. Step 3 is to walk 10,000 steps. If you're serious, maybe you want to bump that number up to 12,000 steps a day, 14,000 steps a day. One of my clients, he's even doing 20,000 steps. I think that's a little bit too much. The benchmark should be 10K steps a day. Not only is this going to make you feel like losing weight is easy, because walking is so much easier than going on runs, it's actually going to put you in a good mood, and it's so effective at burning calories. Walking doesn't cause the crazy hunger spikes that a lot of other sports do, because it doesn't spike your heart rate, doesn't spike your cortisol, and it's very good for your mental relaxation, your physical recovery, because it's very light. Now, I've been working with a lot of people in my private community minimalist training club where I help people lose fat and build muscle. The one thing that's coming up is that people that hit 10K steps regularly, they intentionally take time out of their day to walk. They prioritize it as a thing that they want to achieve, and they go, okay, time to go on a walk now. Now, if you don't do this and you just rely on the normal walking that you do in your day-to-day life, it's very rare that this person will hit 10K steps every day, unless you do a very mobile job. So hit 10K steps. If you're really serious, if you're getting that easily, go up to 12K. The next thing is to track your workouts, your steps, and your weight, and of course your calories. So the key idea here is to track everything. Now, when I say track, a lot of people will go and start tracking their bone mass, MRI, BMI, DEXA scans, and all this kind of stuff. These metrics will serve to confuse you, and in a lot of cases, they will demotivate you because they're not that accurate. They can change depending on your water weight in your body, your stress levels. So when you see a number like, oh, my muscle mass, my lean muscle mass has actually shrunk, people get confused. They're like, well, do I need more protein? You get confused and you give up. Okay, I've seen this so many times. You only need to worry about these 4 things. You need to track your workouts to make sure you're actually getting stronger in the gym and progressing in the gym. You need to track your number of steps, because we just talked about the importance of walking, and you need to know that you're doing enough amounts. You need to track your calories so that you know you're staying in a moderate deficit rather than a huge deficit, or in fact surplus. And you need to be tracking your weight to see whether your calorie calculations were correct, whether everything is actually working or not. If you track just those 4 things, then it's gonna give you that confidence that you're moving in the right direction, even when you feel like looking in the mirror like, oh, stuff's not actually going well. What gets measured gets accomplished. Do not underestimate this. And that moves us on to the final point, and that is to lower your carbs, sugar, and alcohol. I haven't talked too much about this, but when I've been the leanest I've ever been, some of those thumbnails that you see on YouTube where I look the best, I wasn't drinking alcohol, because alcohol is sugar, it's glucose. When you eat things that are high in sugar, which includes alcohol and carbohydrates, it actually shuts down your satiety signaling. You don't feel full as quickly and as easily. So what winds up happening is that you overeat. It's very easy to overeat cake, very easy to overeat ice cream and pizza and pasta and booze, but it's not that easy to overeat good steak, because after a while you're like, dude, I'm done, I'm full. When have you overeaten broccoli? It just doesn't happen. So know this about yourself. If you have a high carb diet, high sugar diet, you're very likely to eat a lot more. And those foods are actually higher in calories as well, which means the first rule that we spoke about, the moderate calorie deficit, which is the bedrock of losing fat, losing weight, is harder to satisfy. Right about now, a lot of people might say, oh, that's why keto's the best, no sugar, no carb. Now, if you want to do keto, you do keto. If you want to do carnivore, you do carnivore. My thing is, I love food. I want to enjoy some carbs here and there, piece of cake, brownie here and there. That actually gives me the mental relaxedness, like I can enjoy the fruits of life, simple pleasures and guilty pleasures of life, and still get lean. That gives me hope. That gives me energy to keep going. So I don't believe in like complete no carb unless it's a specific dietary or health requirement, but I do believe in low carb and low sugar, because that's also helpful for controlling obesity, diabetes. With all those things, guys, you can get lean in 2025. I'll add a bonus point. The bonus point, which will absolutely guarantee take your chances of success to 120%, is to keep a positive mindset of presence and gratitude. Take up things like meditation. Constantly tell yourself that you're grateful for the healthy body that you have now, because let's be honest, it could be unhealthier. It could be worse. Keep feeding yourself this idea that, you know, you've come this way, I can still go, it's so great, and open your body to new change rather than whipping your body out of hate. Okay, this is absolutely critical for staying mentally stable, which is maybe one of the most underrated skills when it comes to getting lean and looking good. If you want me to help you with the training, with the diet, with the mindset, then join Minimalist Training Club, where I coach this, or you could apply for one-on-one coaching with me. But if you just want to take those 5 steps, those 6 steps, I guarantee you, if you do all 5, don't skip 2 and just pick your favorite 3. Actually do all 5/6 and you will get lean. End of. Bye-bye.